A few days ago I reached for some Carpenters and this 2 CD compilation 4040. Previously I've been reaching for this, a single disc compilation Carpenters Gold, but subconsciously in my mind I knew something was wrong. Fortunately though, I found it again with this 4040 compilation, what is an essential compilation album. Welcome back to Toby Jones Talks Music. Today we are talking all about the brother-sister partnership Karen and Richard Carpenter. It's fair to say that this channel in the past has been rock-centric, but I pride myself on having a wide music taste. And to be frank, without me talking about me personally, surely anybody who says they don't like the Carpenters must be lying. The harmonies are just excellent between this group. You could call it easy listening. It is all fantastic stuff. And as I said in the introduction, something's been wrong for me with the Carpenters for quite some time. I did have this single disc compilation, Carpenters Gold. But after listening to the 2 CD compilation 4040 a couple of days ago, I think I'm finally starting to get back into the Carpenters again. There's no doubt that this album, Carpenters Gold, has a lot of the classics on it. Some of the best known tracks, Yesterday, Once More, Goodbye to Love, They Long to Be Close to You, just a few of them, all on that one disc compilation. And there's also a bonus gold DVD with some of the tracks that aren't on the CD itself. But this 2 CD offering, Carpenters 4040, which was first released in Japan in 2009 and then later in 2009 around the world, features more of that Carpenters Gold, to pardon the pun. And you could say that some artists, when they have a multiple CD compilation, there's a little bit of buffer in there, there's a little bit of filler in there, but with this, not at all. What I've noticed with Carpenters Gold, that it very much focuses on the early period of the Carpenters and almost takes out those last two albums, Made in America and Voice of the Heart. The only track from those two albums that's on Carpenters Gold, it's Touch Me When We're Dancing. But going through this 2 CD compilation, kind of listening to it subconsciously, I wasn't 100% sure what albums these tracks were from, but it did amaze me just how many of them were from these last two albums. This one in particular, 1981's Made in America, which Richard Carpenter did say a couple of years after its release, this was his favourite, his and Karen's favourite to record, and there are 4 tracks, maybe 5, there's 4 new tracks, if you like, on Carpenter's 4040. I think there's 5 of them in total from this album. So we've got those Good Old Dreams, When You've Got What It Takes, I Believe You, Touch Me When We're Dancing, and When It's Gone, It's Just Gone. And then from this, the final album, Voice of the Heart, we have Ordinary Fool, Now, When Your Baby Doesn't Love You Anymore. These two albums, I wouldn't say that I'd kind of, a little bit like that gold compilation, discarded them all together, but maybe I didn't hold them in as much height as I would the other albums beforehand. But all this serves to do really for me is to expand the Carpenters catalogue, and with this 2 CD compilation, it is definitely essential. I've got all the Carpenters albums on vinyl, barring one, which is really annoying actually. I haven't got Horizon. Is it Horizon? No, it's A Kind of Hush. I'll go through these now. To be fair, there isn't one single album where you can't find any good on. So you've got Ticket to Ride, Close to You, the self-titled album from 71, A Song for You, Now and Then, Horizon, which is the sessions from this album is where this album cover was taken from. And then you've got Passage, and then the 2 albums that I showed you earlier. So I've talked a little bit about the tracks from those later period albums. There's also a brilliant track, Where Do I Go From Here, which is actually from the posthumous Love Lines album, which was released a little bit later on, I think, in 1989. But even the kind of deeper cuts from the earlier albums. So from Close to You here, we've got Reason to Believe. The harmonies are brilliant here. Baby It's You, the harmonies, the saxophone solo, it's brilliant. The difficulty when you're talking about the Carpenters is that a lot of these songs can fit into the same frame when you're talking about them, and that's not to say that they repeated the formula and these songs all sound the same. It's just they do the good things over and over again. The arrangements from Richard Carpenter are brilliant. The vocals from Karen Carpenter are absolutely sublime. Now, I think that I probably listen to a lot more male-centric music in terms of the vocals than female, so maybe I haven't got much of an informed opinion about this, but Karen Carpenter's vocals surely have to be some of the best female vocals possibly of all time. One of the tracks that's a bit of a find as well from this compilation, from A Kind of Hush album, is One More Time. It's a slower track, just the vocals in the arrangement really stand out here. There are plenty of songs to enjoy. So I think that I've found what I need to with 4040. Carpenters Gold, yes, it's a decent one, but if you're going to reach for a Carpenters compilation, it has to be 4040. Two discs, 20 tracks on each. just track for track, sublime, brilliant. Honestly, there aren't any duds here whatsoever. So this is very much the Carpenters compilation that I would go for. This is probably going to be one of the shorter videos because to go into depth about all of these tracks could take hours on end. And as I say, you can say a lot of the same things about the Carpenters tracks. But this video really is to promote the Carpenters music, the fact that you can re-listen to a compilation or get something that you haven't listened to for a long time. I've had this for years. I actually had this before Carpenters Gold, but after getting Gold, it was almost like, right, that's the more refined greatest hits. So if I want to reach for a greatest hits compilation, I'm going to get to that one. And as I said, I did feel like something was a little bit wrong. So I've gone back to 4040, and that is very much the compilation that I will listen to going forward, I think. And it has probably made me rediscover those last two albums as well. And then possibly to go through all of the Carpenters stuff again. So really, it's done the job, hasn't it? Make sure you let me know your thoughts on the Carpenters below. I have done one more video on the channel about the Carpenters many moons ago, ranking their singles from 1969 to 1973, which was another good compilation album of theirs. I am planning in the future, don't hold me to it because it's been a long time, but hopefully I will, to do a review and a ranking of that 1974 to 77 singles, and possibly there might be more Carpenters reviews to come. If you've enjoyed this, leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular music musings, top 10s, reviews, rankings, all that good stuff.